Hey, this is Butch from GrizzlyRides.com. Today I'm going to be doing a valve adjustment on the 450. Also going to be checking a couple other things, so I figured I'd put together a couple little videos for you. One thing to remember when doing this, always have your service manual on hand, and also that you want your engine to be cool to the touch. The 450 hasn't been running about a week, so should be easy enough on that end. So I'm going to get to work, start removing all the plastics, and I'll talk to you guys soon. One thing you want to be sure is when you remove your cover for your gas tank that everything's clean up top. You don't want nothing falling down into your gas tank.
See what it is inside every ride.
Once you're down and ready to remove the gas tank, you got to remove, on the 450, you have to remove your petcock. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now you got to remove your fuel line. And on the 450, it's a simple little spring clip. There will be a little bit of fuel left in there, so what I always like to do is to take an empty water bottle, and I will drain whatever's left in this line out before removing the gas tank. You want to be careful when you're taking off the gas tank, because you have to pull your petcock up and also that fuel line, and you don't want them getting caught down below. On the 450, underneath the gas tank, it doesn't have the plastic tray like on the 660. Instead, it's got this little rubber mat, and it's basically put on with zip ties. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out to one side, and I'm going to lift it off the hooks and put it over to the other side. Also inside it is a breather tube, and you want to pull that back out and pull it back down and out through, and that'll go back up later. And so once you remove the mat, you'll have access to your valve, your intake valve. And what you want to do is you want to make sure, I'm pretty dirty under here, so I'm going to clean it all up. Because once I get this cover off, I don't want anything dropping down into it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this thing up for a bit, and I'll get back to you soon. On the 450, the exhaust valve is actually reachable from the right side underneath. All you have to do, you don't have to pull the front plastics all the way. All you really have to do is loosen everything up and move the right side of the fender, and you'll be able to get to it. So now that I have everything loose and kind of out of the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull my spark plug. And once I pull my spark plug, I'll then turn around and pull my pull start. Okay, the whole point is that you need to get this set on the compression stroke. So once you take out your timing plug, you'll see the little mark to the left side there. What you're going to do is you're going to spin counterclockwise your crank, so that you can get it lined up on the mark. So I'm lined up on my mark right now, so that should be top dead center. So hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm going to turn around and go ahead and check my valve lash now. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the valve tappet cover. You want to be real careful. Supposedly this is very sharp underneath here. Okay, so on the 450, on the intake valve, they're calling for an adjustment range, acceptable range between 0.06 and 0.10. So I'm going to go ahead and see where I'm at now, and before adjusting. And my 1.0 is, my 0.10 is very tight. It's got a little bit of drag. It's actually getting in there though. I'm going to check this 0.06 side and see how loose it is on that setting. Okay, so here's my 0.06, and it is extremely loose fitting in there. So what I'm going to do is, I have a weird feeling this is loosening up on me, so I'm going to take it down and try to get it back down to the .06 range. And what you want to do is you want to get a little bit of, you want to make it so it goes in, but there's drag on it when you go to take it out. So basically, you're going to go ahead and loosen your nut. Okay. And now what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to do this by hand because I can, but I'm going to actually turn the adjustment not by hand until I feel like it nice and tight on top of, well, not nice and tight, but I got my .06 in now, and I want it so it comes in and out, but there's drag on it. Should be good. So let me try it once more. And I'm on the .06 range, and my feeler is going in, and there's a little bit of drag with it coming out. So we should be good. Let me try that .10 again, because now, actually I'm going to try the next size up, which is a .07 for me on my set. It's a .075 millimeter, and I'm going to go ahead and try that and see if it gets in there, and it doesn't. Well, it does with force, and it's got a lot of drag coming out, so we should be good. We're within the range I want to be. I thought I'd give you guys a shot of where the exhaust valve is on the 450. It's very easy to reach, actually. You could get to it without removing the whole hood. Basically, you just remove the 3 bolts from the right floorboard and front fender, and you could lift the fender right up, and you get very easy access through the wheel well to it. You don't even need a mirror to work in there. What I wound up doing, it's impossible to shoot me, actually film me doing it though. But what I wound up doing was I checked the clearances, and on the exhaust, it's actually 1.6. I'm sorry, a .16 millimeter to a .20 is the range, and I'm actually sitting at at .17 right now. So I didn't even need to make an adjustment to it, and it should be fine. So I'm going to put the tappet cover back on. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and torque all these bolts down to spec. Alright, so basically I got the valves adjusted. The exhaust was within spec, right in the middle of the range, so I kind of left it there. The intake needed to be tightened up a little. It was on the loose side. It was probably still okay, but it was up on that range of the upper loose side, so I tightened it up a bit. Figured I'd throw the gas tank back on and hook up the fuel line and just start her up and make sure she's running, and call it a day. So, let's see, neutral. Alright, so she seems to be running pretty good. I'm going to turn around and list all the torque specs for everything inside the post when I add the video. And I didn't want to take too long doing this video and putting everything into it, so I just kind of shot video of just the main parts. But other than that, she's all ready for West Virginia, so I'm all done, and I'm going to button her back up now. Take care, guys.